He craved it all. The sleek cars, the tailored suits, the clinking champagne flutes at exclusive gatherings. His name, once whispered with respect, became synonymous with extravagance. But this facade of success hid a dark truth. This man, this father, measured his worth in possessions, not people. His family, his own flesh and blood, were mere pawns in his game of self-indulgence. He chased an illusion. Blind to the love and loyalty he trampled beneath his expensive shoes. He told himself it was all for them, for their future. A flimsy justification for a heart consumed by greed. The pursuit of pleasure became his sole ambition, a bottomless pit swallowing his morality. He built his empire on a foundation of deceit, a house of cards destined to crumble. He was a man living a lie, and the cost of his charade would soon come due. The ink on the divorce papers was still wet, a cold, calculated maneuver orchestrated to protect his precious assets. His wife, his partner, the mother of his children, was now an obstacle to be discarded. He offered her pennies on the dollar, a pittance compared to his ill-gotten fortune. He claimed it was for the best, that she deserved a fresh start, a cruel joke dripping with hypocrisy. He painted himself the victim, a successful man wronged. But behind the carefully crafted narrative, the truth festered. He chose money over love, ambition over family. His wife, once filled with dreams, was left shattered, betrayed by the man she vowed to love forever. He had wounded her in the deepest way possible, leaving scars that time could never heal. The insurance payout was substantial, more than enough to fuel his lavish lifestyle for another year, and the source of this windfall, his own flesh and blood. He concocted a tale, a web of lies surrounding his child's accidental death. He shed crocodile tears, feigning grief while secretly celebrating his twisted victory. The guilt, the remorse that should have consumed him were absent. In his twisted mind, his child's life was nothing more than a bargaining chip. The ultimate betrayal, the ultimate sacrifice on the altar of his greed. He had crossed a line, traded innocence for indulgence. The weight of his actions, the sheer depravity, would forever stain his soul. He had become a monster, a predator preying on his own bloodline. Their pleas fell on deaf ears. His own children, his flesh and blood, were denied even the basic necessities. School fees went unpaid, their clothes threadbare, their stomachs rumbling with hunger. He justified his neglect with empty promises, hollow assurances of a brighter future. A future that never seemed to arrive. Meanwhile, he lavished gifts on another family. Their children wanted for nothing, showered with the opportunities his own children craved. A twisted sense of charity, a warped attempt to atone for his sins. He could buy their smiles, their laughter, but he could never erase the truth. He was a father in name only, his love a commodity to be bought and sold. The eviction notice was plastered on his door, a stark reminder of his fall from grace. The very possessions he clung to, the symbols of his fabricated success, were being seized. His world, built on a foundation of lies and deceit, was crumbling around him. He had nowhere left to run, no more lies to spin. Alone in the ruins of his life, the weight of his actions finally crashed down. The faces of his children, etched with disappointment and hurt, haunted his waking moments. The echoes of his wife's heartbroken sobs reverberated through the hollow chambers of his soul. He longed for a second chance, a chance to undo the damage he had wrought. But some wounds cut too deep, some betrayals are unforgivable. He was left to face the consequences of his choices, a pauper in spirit long before he became one in wealth. His empty pockets mirrored the emptiness within. The money, once flowing like water, had dried up. His so-called friends, drawn to his wealth like moths to a flame, vanished when the flame flickered out. He was a cautionary tale, a testament to the corrosive nature of greed. He had sown the seeds of his own destruction, nurturing them with each selfish act.